Hey, what's up, everybody? XRP is looking a little bit bearish at the moment. You can see it looks to me like you're building some type of descending triangle. You can see we're just dangling here on support. So it's still not confirmed yet, but essentially you came down, right? You broke below, but it was a fake out. You quickly came back in and now you got rejected here, came back to support. So the question is, how's this going to play out, right? Is it going to hold support and then work its way out, or because it shot back up and got rejected, now it's going to kind of just crash down? So, I mean, basically you can go up, you can go down. Really, that's what it comes down to. Now it looks like it wants to go down. Just, it seems like it needs to come down a little bit more and maybe get us, a 5 wave move here. So, because right now it just looks like three. You got one, two, you could say three, four, and five, but honestly, it looks to me like one, two, one, two, three, four, five, three. This is four, and now we need five. Get us down to here, back down to like $2, 202 or so, and then go back up in three. And then maybe another five down, and then continue up. Because, you could say that this is one, two, three, or you can say it's five. I don't like it as five because there's really no 5 waves here. I mean, it's really just a 3 wave move. So you're just getting, three here, you got three there, you got three there, you're getting three here. So it's just torture, living torture of just continuing to build this range. And this range is, every time we hit this range, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So it's like, okay, how much more is it going to take before it can't take it anymore, right? The crypto bill ain't looking too good. I don't think the Democrats don't like it. Of course, they don't want anything passed. I mean, Trump is right. They are literally scum. They're the scum of the earth. So they're the central bankers, little bitches, honestly. So, yeah, I think to me, we're still flagging out in here, right? I mean, you can see correcting to the upside, correcting to the downside. So the question is, will we get a pivot and start reversing back up, or is this going to eventually break down? Here's the crossroads right here. I mean, this is do or die. I mean, we're literally right there. So, but yesterday, or the previous video, I did say that, we got somewhat of an impulse. You can argue if it's three or five. But I said we probably, if we take this range, let's zoom in here. Put that there. There was a range. And that's this range down here, and that's where we're at. So, and then also I said, you got this impulse somewhat, basically just cut it in half, and that's usually where we're going to go, and that's exactly what happened. So is it finished? Is this building a base right in here, and we're going to start moving back up? That would be nice, right? Because you would get maybe three down, get three up, and then maybe five down, create a nice structure to support this move up to get a continuation move, right? So A, B, C. That's something we really want to see. Otherwise, this thing's ready to go down. This is you know, a 1 2 1 2 here, and then we have another 1 2, and it's just ready to just die pretty much. And then what that would be is like 3 down, 3 up, and then I move down, and basically you get a 3-wave A, B, C like this, coming way the hell down, right? Not until September, November, and then go up for that bullish winter. So if XRP does crash, not because XRP, but because of Bitcoin and because of the broader crypto market, then there's still going to be a big bull run, right? So whether you like it or not, we're getting a big fat XRP bull run. It's just bound to happen at some point, right? There's just no way around it. It's gonna happen. The question is, when does it happen, right? So bearishly, right? If this has to come down here before going up, then hey, that is what it is, right? That's not my first choice. That's not my main idea, right? But again, if we had to come down here, you're looking at like $1.30 or so, maybe even $1.50. So the absolute low was $1.61, and that would be right there. So we have not tagged this retracement block yet, which is around $1.30. So worst case scenario, if we had to go, if XRP had to start coming down, like 3 down, right, 3 up, and then basically ABC, and we get down to $1.30, that's basically it right there. That's when we really have to start going up, and that would most likely narrow down everything, right? Because it's not about figuring out what it is, it's about figuring out what it's not, so that you can rule out, right? You have suspect 1, suspect 2, suspect 3, suspect 4, suspect 5, and you're standing behind a one-way mirror or a glass, right? And the cop says, okay, number 2, please step forward. And no, it's not him, he's too tall. No, it's not him, he's too short. No, it's not him, his beard's too long. Yeah, here he is, he's got the tattoo, I remember that. So you gotta just move down the line until we rule out what it's not. So here it goes, right here, the 2 ideas. Idea number 1, 1 2 3 4, and we get 5. Idea number 2, 1 2 3 4, then 5. So it's the same idea, it's just lower, right? We got to go lower, basically meaning that this is more complex, right? And there's a secret count in here that we've never talked about, and this count right here is you have 3 down, to here, and then this boom, 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 that is 3 itself. Okay, so you have 3 waves down, you have 3 waves up. What comes next? 3 waves down, right? So you have 1. Is this gonna be like 2 and 3, or even 4 and 5, right? So it could be 3, it could be 5. So 3 down, 3 up, 5 down, or 3 down. Something that says, hey, let's get down here. Now, that's not my main idea. That's not what I think is going to happen. I'm just explaining the bearish case. If that is the case and we do break down to $1.30, it wouldn't be the end of the world for XRP. It would just be a back test, right? You broke out of this major spot. You broke out. Is it possible that we have to come down and back test it before getting that $10 target. Very possible. Now, for Bitcoin, now when you look at the stock market, it looks great, right? You know, you have almost a new all-time high. So I think crypto is in that sweet spot where it's either make it or break it, you know. So it's really comes down to that. Now, if we look at Bitcoin on the monthly chart and you turn on the RSI, you're getting monthly bearish divergence. So, but that doesn't mean we're done yet. So you can see this trend line right here, boom, and then boom. So we want this RSI to get back up to the trend line at the same time making another high. And that would probably mean it's over from there. So you can also see, if we looked at the volume, if I can find it really quick. If you look at the volume, and let's take this on right there, you could see that volume is kind of going down, price is going up. So the move is getting weaker as it's going up. So we're getting close to a top here. Remember, people say the market is bearish. It is for the altcoins, right? Not XRP though, but for a lot of altcoins, yeah. But for Bitcoin's been going up since the beginning of January 2023, right? So all of 23, all of 24, and now half of 25. So that's a long time. That's 2.5 years going up and up and up and up. When does it end? That's the thing. When does it end? You know? So I think it ends pretty soon, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. So is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the final fifth of the fifth? Possible, yeah, very possible. So if that's the case and we're so close, and then we look at something like THETA, and it's so far away from even remotely getting a bull run, how does that play out? Well, that means that you're probably not going to break out this cycle, right? But that doesn't mean we can't get a retrace, because you have 3 waves up, you have 3 waves down, right? The only alternative would be if, you know, you get 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have A, B, C, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, 3 waves up, B, right? And then come down for C. But that still doesn't give you enough time. I don't know. Its timing is always very challenging. So the alternative would be what? Well, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, 3 up, and it's not complex. It's just 3 up. There's B, and then you have 1, 2, right? Here we have 3, or maybe 3 is a little bit lower. Then you get 4, then you get 5. There's C. Get way the hell down here. You know, what is that like? If my mouse would work, there we go. 16 cents to 25 cents, right? So it would be A, B, C. So you have an impulse, massive impulse to the upside, A, B, C, 3-way pullback, and then a monster move back up. That's the bearish idea. The bullish idea, short-term bullish, is going up in 5 and completing this 3, then coming down into kind of like reaccumulation or ABC, something like that. So basically that's kind of what we're left with. I mean, we're right here at support. So we don't have much room here. I mean, this is it. The price needs to step up now, like quickly, or we risk bigger issues later on, most likely come back down way down here, right? So if we take that off put it on a regular scale. So this is the regular scale, and I hate regular because you can't get the whole chart in one chart. But yeah, you can see very clearly, you know, we could be working our way back down to these lower support levels. So let's keep looking here. So this is just the bearish idea. It doesn't mean this is what's going to happen, right? Again, there's really just two ideas, honestly. So if we go back and we zoom in now, the reason I don't think we're going to keep going down is because we've been going down, right? We need a pullback. We need a correction. Because if you look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many waves do you need? It's enough. Okay, that's it. There we go. Right? I mean, you got bullish divergence. Massive bullish divergence. Like massive bullish divergence on the 4-day, on the 5-day, on the 8-day. I mean, come on. On the 10-day too. Even on the 10-day chart, you have bullish divergence. But the problem with that is we don't know if this wave is finished yet. We don't know if it's finished. It could keep going down, right? So, but from a weekly perspective, we have bullish divergence. Boom, boom. So I think this wave is basically over. I think, you know, we basically landed on support, right? So... and then not only that, but we've been coming down. I mean, sellers have to be exhausted. I mean, we've crashed all the way. I mean, we crashed how long? 82%. Think about that. Theta has crashed 82%. 82%. So how much crashing does it need? So the first crash way up here, that was like 96%. Okay? You crashed 96%. Then you rallied up almost 600%. But then you had to come back down and crash 76%. So you had a 96% drop, a 76% drop, and then now here you go again, another freaking 82% drop. So that's a lot of drops right there. All right? So this is all part of the bear market that started here. So that's year after year after year after year of bearishness. So you have to think, okay, well, at some point this is going to turn around, right? Especially now with President Trump and all the guys working on this crypto stuff. So, but yeah, this is a good thing here. You got perfect 5-wave move here. So we want to see support hold, and we want to see a reversal back to the upside. That's my main idea. That's what I'm thinking here, right? At least get back up to this spot up in here, you know, above $1.30, right? Because even if this was A, B, C, even if it was, you still need a pullback. Right? You still need, right? It still would be 1, 2, 3. You would need 4 and 5. So where's 4 at? We don't have it yet. So when we get 4, we want to see how does it come up. Does it come up 3-wave-ish? Right? Does it come up impulsive with a 3-wave pullback? And then it looks like it's going to continue. So those are the things we need to look for. Now, if we... look at Bitcoin here on the smaller time frames, right? So again, did I flip bearish? No, but it would be foolish if I didn't talk about the bearish possibilities, which would ultimately lead to bullish outcomes, right? So the bearish idea will lead to bullishness. It's just, you know, time, right? So there's really two things. Is this a flat? If that's a flat, then that's a B wave. So you have 3 down, you have 3 up, right? So is this going to be like 5 back down and it's like an ABC and then we go up? So if that's the case, right? Let's say Bitcoin had to crash way back down, you know, because you're building a base right in here, right? So this could be something like this over here, right? Where you had A, B, C, you built that little base, this type of shape, that formation, right? Now remember that formation and look at this right here. Is this the same? Whoops, we gotta go even more out. We gotta go out, right? Like way out here. Is this the same formation where you're kind of like A, B, C, kind of like this, that same type of move, right? Now, if that's the case, Bitcoin would still be bullish because it would be in this formation, but theta would have then broken down, and it would have most likely, right, if we get this scenario where we get this move all the way down and it becomes a big flat before we go up, if we get that, then we go back to theta, that would mean that theta would probably get, and not just theta, but everything else would get this ABC, and then that would be the end. That would be the end. So it's really strange. This is the most, this is by far the most different cycle we've ever had, right? Partly because we're not even in a real cycle with the altcoins, but yet Bitcoin is rampaging, right? But then you look at something else like NEAR, and it just went up in a retrace, and then it came back and it pulled back while Bitcoin's way up here. So at some point, Bitcoin needs to chill out, and NEAR and everything else needs to explode, right? To get that rotation. So if we put Bitcoin side by side, right? Bitcoin bottomed here sooner. AVAX bottomed later. And then Bitcoin just went straight up. AVAX just kind of has this three-way pullback. So AVAX has been correcting for the last year, over a year, right? So it started, not just AVAX, but everything else, March 2024. That's when we started correcting. Now we're here in June 2025. That's over a year. So this is a 3-wave, 1-year pullback. That's pretty big right there. So this whole wave is A, B, C. This is an impulse with a 3-wave pullback that took a year. This 3-wave pullback took 1 year. Okay, so if that's the case, then we should be close. We should be very close, right? Now, some of them haven't broken the low yet, like AVAX, right? So theta looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's down here, but AVAX hasn't, which tells me maybe we still have a little bit more correcting to do before that time comes. Theta fuel, same thing. So let's see here. Let's look at Ethereum now. Ethereum's a big deal. So just like Ethereum has that kind of formation, it already completed the formation, right? A, B, C. It completed that shape, right? Not only that, but you also had a 3-wave pullback that lasted a year. You have this impulse. It looks like it's trying to flag out, and then you get a continuation. So Ethereum still looks pretty good, but we could see, let's look close. Yeah, it looks finished. This is a 3-wave move right there. So this isn't finished yet because you got to get away from the scene of the crime. You're too close to the dump. Right? So this looks like, and then, this looks more like a 5-wave move. You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 potentially here. Or this is 1, 2, 3, and then this is a flat here for a 4, and then you're going to get 5. So this right here looks like a smaller version of that. So let's zoom in. It just doesn't look completely finished yet. I don't know. It's, you know, because you could say like, there's the flat, there's a 1, there's a 2, and then we go up for 3. I mean, we need to give it a little bit of time because it looks a little bearish as far as the head and shoulders look to it, right? So if it has to break down and get 5 waves, that would probably be better actually, because it would give us more distance away from the crash. Like SHIB, you know, SHIB pulled back here. So same thing with SHIB. I think it's still bullish. I still think it's very bullish. Again, you got this 3-wave pullback that's lasted a long time, right? And if you have the stock market and breadth opening up, we should get a big move to the upside very, very soon. So, you know, we did break the low, right? You could see right there, we took the low, and you did so with major divergence. I mean, this goes all the way up to the weekly. So we officially have weekly bullish divergence here. So it takes a little while for it to play out, but we got it, you know. So now you can say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's no doubt now that it has to be 5, because a lot of times you'll get a 5-wave move and you're like, well, maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, or this is part of the third. But since we got this and this, now there's no doubt that it has to be 5 waves. But here's the thing. Is this wave done? That's the thing, right? That the 5th wave itself. So if we zoom in on this 5th wave, you can see 1, 2. See, here's the thing. Is this 3, 4, and 5? It very well could be, right? Or is this 1, 2, 3? All of this is 3, and then you're going to get a 4 and then a 5. That could also be, right? So it's challenging. It's not easy. It's challenging. So I would say that I think it's finished. You could see how sharp. Let's see. Let me get my arrow here. You could see how sharp. See how sharp the move came, and you see this pointy wick, and then it shot up, kind of like right over here. Right? It was short-lived, but at least give us a 3-wave move, you know, because you have kind of like sharp move down, 3 up, sharp wave down. Is this going to be 3 up? I think it will be, right? So because we don't have 3 yet, we have 1, 2, but we don't have 3 yet. So it would make more sense if we went up here to 3. Play around a little bit for a 4, and then get a 5. That would be really, really good. Get a 3-way pullback, and then keep chugging, keep going. So yeah, so now we know. You could say, well, we had 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was part of a diag. That was part of a flat. So we have 3 up, 3 down, 5 up. So A, B, C. That whole thing was a 4. So 1, 2, all of that's 3. And now this, ladies and gentlemen, is wave 5. And it appears that wave 5 is almost done. Not just SHIB, but everything. Right? Let's look at something else. Let's go to ADA here. ADA is a little bit more challenging. It just doesn't have that nice look to it like SHIB does, because it's, I don't know, it doesn't look the same. But yeah, I mean, you know, you have this impulse up, correct to the downside, impulse up, correct to the downside. So once this finishes in here, you know, that's when we're going to see. If we take a bars pattern from here to there, and let's just move it over, whoops, you could see the amount of time that it has taken, not the structure, but the time. You can see we're on track here. So we got a little bit more time. So maybe this has to finish here, and then it can go up, you know, what is that? That's almost September, or no, the beginning of August. And it is summer, right? Summer months are always terrible for crypto. But you know, the thinking is, you know, it's been terrible this whole terrible beginning January. I mean, the whole year has been terrible for crypto, really, except for XRP last year. So even HBAR, you know, is this like a three-way move with a double bottom? Right? I like that little wick there. So we just need buyers to step up to the plate, and that could, you know, crypto can move so fast. In 24 hours, it could be totally different, right? So it's just kind of a waiting game to see. You know, we got the crypto bill coming. You know, it needs to hurry up and get passed, and not just the stable coin, but crypto. Everything does, right? So we need complete crypto regulation if we want to see something exciting really manifest and be sustainable. Because I still think this is the best investment you're ever going to have in the history of your life. There's nothing else like it, unless you invest in a private company. But something that everybody has access to, there's nothing else out there that is going to be a better investment than crypto. There's no stock, there's nothing. So not all crypto, obviously some of them will do terrible, like Litecoin's been doing terrible for so long, but I think you can still see it's climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. You can see the trend. It's going slow, but it's up. Yeah, so these type of charts like 88, HBAR, Algo, you know, where they have the 5-wave move, they have this wonky looking thing here. It just begs the question, is this an impulse for the next big breakout, or is this going to go into reaccumulation? But I don't think so. But again, we'll have to see. Monero. I haven't talked about Monero in a little bit, but you can see Monero is kind of backtesting the equivalent of XRP backtesting $1.30. So Monero is the equivalent of XRP at $1.30, but yeah, you can kind of see it's testing, you know, because this is a big area. This took a long time, and you finally broke out of here, and now you're retesting it. So it could be a good spot to buy the dip here. Let's take a closer look. I don't like the wave structure right here. Like, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to do with that. That's just challenging. You could say you got 3 down. I don't know. It's tough. There's 3 there. There's 3 there. There's 3. I mean, it's a tough one. You could say even that this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's like a diag. So this is A, and then this is B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for C, and then this could be a 1, and this could be a 2, and we're ready to go, maybe. But I don't think so. I think it still needs time. So you could see the angle. So we want the angle to flatten, and then we want the angle to rise. So I would wait for that. Dr. Phil coin, Filecoin. Yeah, it looks, you got this impulse. You got a little correction. Let's see if we can move our way back up soon. But honestly, it doesn't look like that right now. It looks like it's still, it kind of comes up, resets, comes up, resets. We have to wait until that stops. So we want to see some kind of leveling off here. But when you zoom out, the shape actually looks good. It's got the nice flag shape to it. But Filecoin is definitely at all-time lows, right? So if this thing ever, if you want to make an investment and you're okay holding, you buy, let's see, Filecoin at 215, right? That's the same price as XRP, right? But the high for Filecoin was 230 bucks. So theoretically, I could sell all my XRP and put it into Filecoin, and in 3 years, who's the winner? I don't know. I mean, that's tough, but just to get, if that's $2, just to get back to the top of the range, that's $10 right there. So if Filecoin got all the way back up to this level, that would be the same thing as XRP breaking out and going to 10 bucks. Same thing, right? So very interesting. But I still like Filecoin. I mean, you have 3 waves up, you have 3 waves down, you have 5 waves in the last wave. You have bullish divergence. You have major bullish divergence here. I mean, look at that, from here to there to there. Let's go to the weekly. So the weekly, no, we don't have it on the weekly, but THETA did. But yeah, you could see 5. So, 1, 2. Now before we had 3, 4, and 5, but now you can see 4 and you can see 5. So this is the real deal right here. Whoops, what am I doing here? So yeah, so we have 5 down, we have 3 up, and we have 5 back down. So basically, this is a copy of this. This move here is the same move here, right? So you broke below it, right? So people, what do? They're going to go short. They're going to think, oh, it's a head and shoulders, right? It's a head and shoulders. The measured move of this head and shoulders is going to be deadly. It's going to crash all the way down to 80 cents. So right there. That's what people would assume, and they have every right to assume that, because you broke below the line and you came up and you retested as resistance, and then you're continuing to go down. The reason I don't like it a lot is because you already, in doing so, you already created this 5-wave move. So if we flip it upside down, you can see that you have 3 down, you have 3 up. You need a move back down in order to get to that move back up, if it was going to do that. Otherwise, we should see a wave 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get 5 for that bigger move. But let's keep looking here. Dogecoin. XLM looking good. I mean, you know, you got this flag in here, so it's kind of like, well, what is it waiting for? So if we zoom in, it's real tight too. It's not all massive like some of them. And you can see we're still right in that trend line. That's interesting. So we are riding along this trend line here. But yeah, XLM hasn't broken the low. But XRP did, I think. No, XRP did not either. Okay, yeah. I was thinking of the different time frame, but yeah, so we want this wave to finish. So I mean, it looks like it could be done. If we get one more wave down, I would say that would be it. But I think that it could even be it now. You know, I like this little formation too. You could see we're building a little basin here. So it's holding. It's acting like it doesn't want to go any lower. Let's see. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Right in here. Was that the little liquidity grab right there? Maybe. We'll see. So I think that's about it. I mean, Dog had a big move up yesterday, but then bam, it crashed. Wow, that was a pretty crazy, volatile move there. Interesting. Yeah, I probably should have took my profit there. That was a big dump. It's kind of difficult to figure out what now. It really very interesting here how this is going to play out. So but total 3 looking okay. Not too bad. So it really looks like total 3 could be like something like boom, 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 or 3A. So you have 3A, 3B, and then 3 down, maybe just a regular WXY. XDC actually looks okay. It's kind of a short little wave, but it's got that 3-wave move to it. And I like these candles right here. So far it's looking okay. Also, like the Russell, you know, the stock market, you got this three-wave shape here. So let's see if we get a push. So looking at Fetch, also looks, I think it's done. I mean, you can see this 3-wave move here, right? You got a 5-wave move up, and it looks like we're flagging out. So let's see if we can get this to continue here soon. I think there's a good chance that Fetch is on its way. I don't like that, though. I don't think I do. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but it appears that you have 3, 3, and 3. So 3 down, 3 up, 3 back down. That's a 3-wave move. This could be a 1, that could be a 2, and we're ready for 3, 4, and 5. So possibly. And the way you would figure the target from here to there to there. And you got 1618 coming right back up there. So that's kind of what I would expect for fetch. Now, does the price have to do something like this where you have A and then it goes B and then it goes C and then you create this little base before then going up? That's also a possibility. Or this has to come down a little bit more, back down deeper before getting up here. I mean, that's also a possibility. So you got like Jasmine here. I mean, is this 5 or is this 3 with a 3-way pullback? ICP, nothing really there though, but same thing with ICP. You're kind of building this little base here. Solana. I haven't looked at Solana in a while. Yeah, see, Solana still just doesn't look good. It's just, you're just right at the highs. You could say, well, XRP is at the highs, but XRP built a massive structure. This is just straight up, straight down, straight up. So it's kind of building a base. You could see 1, 2, 3. Is this, you know, you're kind of forming a base for that hit to the high? Yeah, I suppose so. You can see Pepe looks so bearish. I mean, you can see it looks bearish to me. I mean, it could still go up, but it looks kind of head and shoulders looking to me. So Aave, yeah, is Aave gonna do this or is Aave gonna do that? You know, you have this retrace, but is it going to turn into like a C wave? We don't, you know, that's the challenging part, where a lot of these already did. So yeah, I out of all, I mean, I still like SHIB the best out of all those structures, just because of the way it's shaped. You know, you got a lot of support in here, and then you got all of this support down in here. So my question is, does the price have to break below the support to test lower support? Very possible, right? But anyway you look at it, you know, you kind of have this 3-way move that needs to, it's going to be resolved at some point. And I remember we had a 9. Yeah, so there's the 9 right there. We have a 9 buy. So we have 1, 2, 3 candles kind of flattening out in here. So let's see what's to come from it. But anyways, I think that should do it for this part. I'll just keep looking around and seeing if there's anything here. Virtual optimism. I don't have a lot of optimism for optimism. No, I do, but you know, you got a 9. It looks like you got divergence down here. So there's the best thing about these charts is that we got this wave down. And you can say, well, why is that good? That's supposed to be bad. Yeah, but that wave coming down gave us 5 and it gave us bullish divergence. So, you know, and Bitcoin dominance is on a 9. You know, last time we had a 9, we had a big dump. So is this 9 going to give us another dump? Maybe. But it still looks bullish, to be quite honest. There's no bearish divergence on the weekly yet, really. Maybe a little bit here. So, you know, SHIB and THETA look very similar in that regard. So Yeah, so because we got this 4 and 5 now, and we got the divergence, now it's all about building support and getting our way back up here. So it's gonna take some time. It's gonna be a mission to get there, but I think if we can get back up there, we can form this shoulder, this head, get another shoulder here. You know, we'll be on our way. And XRP, you know, it's just kind of chilling out in here a little bit. Yeah, you got a little bit of a pump over the last couple minutes here. Yeah, so you have this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's a good example right here. I mean, it's on the 1 minute, but you can see, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have this 4, 5 with divergence, and then you have this big pump that comes out of it. So if you looked like, if that was, you know, looking the same kind of look with theta, same thing, right? You have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. Well, what did XRP just do? It just went all the way up like that. So I think that is on the horizon. I think that's what we're going to get, right? So it's only bearish if we start cracking below the lows in here, and then we would look for you know, 5 and the 5th, and then a retrace, and it's just, you know, just a grueling game. But until then, just kind of watching these lows and seeing how it plays. But anyways, that'll do it. We got 4th of July coming up, so hope you guys have a good time, and I will remember, none of this is financial advice. I could be wrong, right? These are just ideas. We're trying to figure it out. So let's figure it out, and let's see how it plays, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.